Oh, good morning. Man, see this view? It's amazing, man. Just to be able to wake up and be free and, talk about God and how He woke me up in the middle of the night and gave me some form of revelation. I struggle with relationships, man, and I struggle with freedom and doing what's right. This is my life. This is luck turned blessed, and then talk about in the Bible about I'm a new creation. The old is gone and the new has come, but that creation is being created, and sometimes that creation is being tested through the fire, the fire of relapse, the fire of brokenness, the fire of finding my true self, you know what I mean? Man, I had to rest last night. I went to bed about 8 o'clock, but God woke me up in the middle of the night. And He gave me this revelation talking about letting me know why I seek out relationships and stuff like that. And he told me it comes from not growing up without a mother in my life, Like I had a mom, but we were separate, The system separated us. Decisions based on my life and her life separated us, and it made it so we weren't able to have that mother-son relationship. So I never knew the love of a mother, so to speak. Even though my mom loves me, she wasn't capable of being able to show me that love, that nurturing, that nurturing that a woman gives a young boy, that soft and gentleness that a young man needs in his journey and from becoming a baby to an infant to a child to a young boy to a teenager to a young adult, and so I've had enough harshness in my life. That's what he told me. He said, man, you've had enough harshness. You've had enough people coming at you in a hard way all your life, right? I remember when I was 10 years old and I was in a mental hospital after my mom took me there because she cared for me and she wanted me to get help. They were hard. They slammed me to the ground. They held me down. They abused me. You know what I mean? I was abused in more ways than one, more ways than you can imagine when I was in that place where they were trying to get me help. And that's just a part of the broken system that we live in, the broken government that we're under, the broken marriage covenants that we make sometimes. Sometimes we do things because it's what we want, not necessarily what we need. And even in this moment, I don't know what I want or what I need. But I know God gives me these revelations, and it's about His plan and His will and His guidance and His correction, you know what I mean? He gives me that subtle correction. He speaks to me. He tells me what He wants for my life, you know what I mean? And what I know is that the enemy comes in and corrupts that, you know what I mean? The delusions that I was going through during my relapse were horrifying. They were horrifying. And, people think that they got to be hard with me. They got to be rough and tough because I built this image, you know what I mean? These tattoos, this exterior that's truly not me inside. Who I truly am inside is that I want to be soft and gentle. I'm a kind person and I care, you know what I mean? I get to be on this waterfront looking at the view of downtown Portland. I come down here to, not only do like a prayer walk, but also to connect with God. I talk to one of my spiritual mentors in the morning when I'm doing this, and we're talking about how can we fix the system? How can we make it so people don't keep repeating the same mistakes over and over and over? And I believe that God is using this as a testing, as a way to show me, as a way to have me go through the things that I go through so I can share my experience, strength, and hope with the people that need it, man, because God wants the people that nobody wants, man. That nobody wants. He doesn't go to these high rises. I mean, he probably does, you know what I mean? But his focuses are the ones that Jesus hung out with the people that nobody wanted to hang out with, you know what I mean? And you know, right now I feel like I'm one of those people that nobody wants to hang out with because they're too concerned about their own spiritual well-being, or they're too concerned about their own issues and trauma and belief system, you know what I mean? And you know, I talk about the spirit of religion and how the spirit of religion has an effect on people in a way that it pushes people away, man. You know, we don't know what God's plan is. We don't know what life's plan is. We don't know how this is going to be able to help somebody and what we're doing, you know what I mean? My heart hurts right now because, man, I want to experience life in a way that is wholesome, that is pure. You know, sin is powerful, you know what I mean? And temptation is real. And the enemy and his tactics, he knows me very well. He's been manipulating me all my life, and he manipulates people around me, and they don't even know it. They're not even understanding how they're being influenced, you know what I mean? Because forgiveness is key, you know, and then most of all, I got to forgive myself. And part of that revelation last night is that allowance to forgive myself and to understand myself better, you know, and understand that I've had that heart correction my whole life, throughout my whole life. And you know, sometimes it's just that soft, gentle approach with me that opens up my ears and opens up my mind and gives me the ability to trust and understand. That's why I appreciate my pastor and the way that he operates, man. He doesn't come from a place of force, of even trying to relate to me, you know what I mean? He just allows me to be who I am and loves me through that. And that's what Christ does. Christ loves you through all your imperfections, even me smoking this cigarette right now, you know what I mean? Because honestly, man, I get nervous when I do these because I want to do it right. I want to do it in a way that helps not only myself, but others. You know, I come from the bottom of bottoms, from the trap of the trap before it was ever called a trap, you know what I mean? I remember coming down here when I was loaded and I was in the streets and experiencing life like that, man, and that felt normal to me, you know. It feels normal, but God's taken away that ability to enjoy using drugs, you know. God's taken away that ability of me to just have to stay present in this moment, no matter what. I remember there was a time I wanted to jump off this bridge, and in and out of the hospital so much, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't want to live, and today I want to live, and I'm grateful. I'm grateful that I have this process. I'm grateful that God is connecting with me, and you know, somebody prayed for me last night for God to reveal things to me in my dreams, and He does, man. He does, and I'm grateful. I have gratitude, you know what I mean? And we just need that softer, gentler approach, you know what I mean? To not shoot our wounded, to not remember, you know, not forget where we came from, and that we making mistakes. You know, I made a mistake in that sentence because I wanted to say, don't forget where you came from, you know what I mean? The journey that it takes to get to where you got, you know, and this is my journey right now, and I don't know where it's going to be. There's that bridge, man. All right. Hopefully you hear this in a way that heals your heart like it's healing my heart. God bless you.